But it doesn't happen.
The only thing that was published was that one paper, and I can't remember the title, but it's something about the parsimony of the umbrella hypothesis.
Langdon, that was my dear Langdon.
And you know, you read that and you think, well, it's not really saying anything.
It was quite a vicious attack, and he was invited to Ghent, and he came along to Ghent, and he's such a nice guy. I got a picture of him with his arm around me. But I think he thought, here's an idea for an article, nobody else is doing it, well, fair play to him, better luck to him. He was going to go and do it. But the Journal of Human Evolution, I sent them a reply to it, not straight away, because I thought, well, this is obviously, such a prejudiced thing, nobody's going to take it in by it. But later I found out what it was. And I sent them a reply to it, and they said, no. Well, London said, no, well, we can't decide here, well, the New York office must decide, because they're the one who took the article from Langdon. And they said, well, no, you don't specifically attack some of the arguments he said. Well, I said, will you take an article if I rewrite it specifically? Well, no, because it wasn't really attacking you. It was just a paper about scientific attitudes, but it said a critique of the aquatic ape hypothesis. But he has, he's a nice guy. We have regular email correspondence now, arguing about the points of it. But half of the original article was denouncing the kind of people who believe in this kind of theory, and talking in effect as if it was like little green men from Mars, talking as if it was politically motivated because I'd written A Descent of Woman, and talking as if I was trying to appeal to minorities. So many of these articles, so many of these things are invented by laymen. Well, Alistair Hardy wasn't a layman, and by this time, I am talking their own language and digging up things that I said in 1972. There is no scientist on God's earth. If you dig up what he was writing in 1972, you can't find something that looks silly now. So, Langdon was there.
This is, you say Ghent, the conference in Ghent.
Yes.
That was the conference on the aquatic ape.
Yes. Yes.
When was that?
End of last month.
Oh, right. Oh, so what was the one that you had the book published then? There was another one, wasn't there? Also in...
Oh, yes, that was years and years and years ago. That was aquatic ape fact or fiction. That was in Falkenberg. That was a great time. They had a 3-day conference there, and they had on the against side all the establishment, professors and so on, and Vernon Reynolds and people. And on the pro side, they had a rather, I have to say it would have looked like just like Langdon was talking about, some of these lunatic fringe people, because, a lot of them were just, they'd been taken by the idea, they were not very well informed, but they were very enthusiastic. And if you go to any of these big academic conferences, 3-day conferences, a lot of people have come because they get their expenses paid, that they're in a nice scenic part of Europe, and they get to go sightseeing, and they turn up for a first couple of, and the audiences go down and down. But in Falkenberg, they were waiting, queuing outside the door for the thing to open, because it was, it raised such heats of controversy. And the boys who are against it, they do get really red in the face and jumping up and down because they hate it so much. No, that was great. And
so what was this one in Ghent then?
This was in Ghent.
Is this another symposium conference?
Another symposium.
About the aquatic ape theory only?
Only a couple of weeks after the American one.
Oh, really? And was that purely about the aquatic ape theory?
Purely about the aquatic ape theory.
Oh, I didn't realise.
And Mark was there, and Langdon was there, Tobias was there, And they had, Stephen Canane was there. He was another one who supported it quite early. And he was talking about the nutrition thing that the corporate talks about.
How do you find out about these things? Because I would like to go to one of these. I'm sure it'd be very interesting to just attend one.
Well, there's a guy called Johnny Wayand who works in Harvard Library, and he is something like Chuck, you know, not qualified, but he was mad keen on it, and he was the one who got me into Harvard. He'd been trying to get me invited to Harvard. He'd set his sights on it, but it was a bit dubious. But then I got the invitation from Daniel Dennett, big name, and Daniel Dennett had mounted a series of weekly talks by controversial characters, and he fitted me in as one of those. And so Tufts is in Boston, like where Harvard is. Tufts were paying my fare, so now Johnny Wayne could say, she's coming to Boston, if you could book her then you wouldn't have to pay her airfare. And I mean, the fact that Daniel Dent had invited me helped him to say, I mean, this is not some crackpot, this is somebody that Daniel Dent has invited. So then I got the 2 dates there. And Johnny Wayand came over to Ghent as well. I don't know where I was going.
Oh, just asking about how these events transpire, like the conference.
Yes, well,
There's going to be another one soon.
Ghent was started up by ostensibly by the University of Ghent. I got the invitations from there, and they did the organising. But I knew perfectly well, if this isn't Belgium, I know who started it. And it was Mark.
Was it all in English?
Yes, it was all in English, and they had they advertised it on the web, but of course you've got to know where to look. I wouldn't have known about it if I hadn't been invited. But
I mean, on that sort of topic, have you ever thought about, you know, the need for perhaps some sort of formal organisation for the Aquatic Theatre? Have you ever thought on all those lines?
it has cropped up from time to time. But I'm not quite sure how I'd go about it. The only one in the offing now is not directly about the Aquatic Ape, but you know, it was fairly hectic last month, going around America and then just getting time to recover from that and going to Ghent again. I felt exhausted. I thought, well, I'm not sure I'm going to say yes next time. But I've had an invitation to attend a conference in December, and it's in Cardiff, just down the road. So I thought, well, that's easy. Just hop on the train. You don't have to book planes and hotels and things. That's about plasticity in illusion. But I can easily twist that to my own pieces.